Can't leave rap alone, the game needs me. Haters want me clapped.
What's going on, YouTube gang? We're gonna talk some hip hop today. Yes, and if you're a hip hop fan, you are very excited because JAY-Z is about to drop. Yes, we don't have an official date. You know, we don't have a name for the album. Nah, but if you've been watching closely, you've been in the hip hop culture, you know JAY-Z been getting this ready for months now. Yes, and he's actually set to perform this summer. The Roots, May 30th in Philly, and he gonna perform in New York, Yankee Stadium, yes, July 10th and 11th, celebrating Reasonable Doubt. And like I say, he's been getting us ready for months now. If you know, caught him during the Super Bowl, he was wearing a hoodie, "The game needs me." Yes, we know JAY-Z used that line before in Izzo. Can't leave rap alone, the game needs me. Haters want me clapped and chromed, it ain't easy. Cops wanna knock me, DA wanna box me, but somehow I beat them charges like Rocky. Yeah, getting ready. You know, JAY-Z, one of my favorite artists. So I can't wait. And this gonna be one hell of a rollout. It's gonna be a rollout like we've never seen. How I think he's approaching this rollout, he gonna get everybody, you know, up to speed with his shit, you know, do some performances and shit like that. And by the end of the year, we'll be getting a new album from JAY-Z. Yes. And I'm interested to see who he'll have, you know, featured on the album. This will be his first solo album since 444. Then we're going on 10 years. We're going on 10 years now. So I want to see who we got on the album, you know, some features, you know, just going off the top of my head, who I think could be featured on that album. Artists he liked to work with, Kendrick Lamar. You know, he liked to work with Pusha T. So you might see Clips on the album. You know, Clips been doing business with Rock Nation and shit, you know, the past year. So you might see Clips on the album. You know, we were expecting a JAY-Z verse on their album, you know, but JAY-Z gave Pusha T a few verses. You know, you got a few songs with those two, Drug Dealers Anonymous, you know, Neck and Wrist. You know, he has some big features, you know, since he hasn't dropped album. He had Neck and Wrist with Pusha. He got the God Did verse with Khaled. You know, he had the What's Free verse on Meek Mill's album, Champions. You know, so he had some fire verses, you know, where he talking that shit, Jay. You know, so I'm looking forward. Oh, I can't wait. I know ticket prices are through the roof. You know, especially that one at the Yankee Stadium, and I guarantee it's sold out. You know, but first album, like I say, solo album, you know, since 444, he had the album with Beyonce, the Carters. You know, they had their, you know, they did their album together, you know, but yeah. You know, this gonna be, like I say, a rollout like we've never seen before, you know, because we know Jay gonna have that he gonna put the money behind himself, you know, so it's gonna be a rollout like we've never seen. You know, it's gonna be a never-ending rollout, you know, until the album drop. You know, you're gonna see him perform in different places and things like that. So yeah, the album will drop this year for sure, or early, or yeah, this year. We only still in the first quarter this year. Yeah, this album will drop. I got faith in that. You know, like I say, you've been watching closely. The game needs me. You know, Jay gonna show you more than he can tell you. You know, he gonna show you more than he can tell you. You know, by subtle signs. You got to see signs like that, the hoodies and shit like that. Can't leave rap alone, the game needs me. Haters want me clapped and chromed, it ain't easy. Cops wanna knock me, DA wanna box me, but somehow I beat them charges like Rocky. You know, I can't wait. And like I said, I'm a big Jay fan. You know, when you're a big fan of an artist on YouTube, you get like I got this for Pusha T, Jay, and JAY-Z. It's you get a badge, like you're a top listener and shit like that. I got a badge for listening to Pusha and JAY-Z so damn much. I got a badge now where I'm in the top 5% of listeners, some shit like that. YouTube sent me. I'm like, damn, I must listen to these motherfuckers every fucking day to get in the top percent of listeners and shit like that. I mean, you know, you really fuck with that art, you know. So yeah, it's gonna be a good year for hip hop if Jay dropping, you know, So he performing in Philly May 30th with the Roots. He's headlining that, and Yankee Stadium July 10th and 11th. He going two. They say he going 2 nights back to back, going back to back. You know, A side, B side. You know, he can do shit like that. But I'm looking forward to it. Talking some hip hop today. JAY-Z will drop. Mark my words, he will drop. Come back to this video when that album drop. You know, with no date, no title, no nothing. But just know it's gonna drop. You know, because I'm watching. I'm watching closely. So I'm looking forward to it. But let me know what y'all think. You know. Y'all excited for the album? Who y'all think will be featured on the album? Drop something down in the comments. You know, keep the fire content coming. Keep y'all updated. Keep everything rolling. That's what I do. But comment, like, subscribe. That's what help us share the video. Retain and hit that cash, baby. That's what I do. We are.
Ladies and gentlemen. Down,